February 2026. The PS5 Pro costs as much as a used Honda Civic, and my rent just went up because my landlord decided vibes were now a taxable amenity. We're living in expensive times, people, but apparently nobody told Sony that the economy is supposed to be challenging, because while we're out here budgeting for ramen, PlayStation just checked their couch cushions and found $2.37 billion. But here's the kicker. Here's the cosmic joke that is going to make every hardcore blue check mark PlayStation console wearer delete their Twitter account in shame today. They didn't make that money selling Spider-Man 3 to PS5 owners. No. They made that money selling games to PC players and Xbox owners. Today, we're diving into the financial report that proves the console war didn't end with a peace treaty. It ended because Sony realized the enemy's money spends exactly the same as yours. So let's break it down. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kyler Ray, your guide through the flaming dumpster fire that is modern gaming news, sprinkled with just a dash of existential dread. If you're new here, we talk gaming business, we laugh at corporate absurdity, and occasionally I try to sell you a VPN. Not today, though, you're safe. So a new report just came out based on data dug up by the folks over at Windows Central, analyzing Sony's recent earnings call here in Q1 2026. And the headline is pretty jaw-dropping. Sony's other software category, which is corporate speak for stuff that isn't on PlayStation consoles, has absolutely exploded, crossing that multi-billion-dollar threshold. For years, the narrative was only on PlayStation. Do you remember that at all? The sacred exclusivity? Well, turns out sacred has a price tag, and that price tag is $2 billion. Today, we're going to look at how they made this money, why the Redditors are crying about it, and what this actually means for the future of where you'll play Naughty Dog's next depressing masterpiece. Strap in. Okay, let's look at the numbers. According to the recent data, Sony's revenue from PC and other platforms has more than tripled since 2022. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's just God of War and Horizon finally hitting Steam. And yeah, that is a big part of it. When Kratos finally graced PC Master Race rigs, it printed money. Even though half the people bought it just to mod Kratos into Thomas the Tank Engine. But the real breadwinner here, the silent killer, the game that is secretly funding your next Uncharted, it's actually baseball. MLB The Show. This is a game developed by Sony San Diego, a first-party PlayStation studio. And where do millions of people play it? On Xbox Game Pass. And think about the irony here. Every month, Phil Spencer cuts a check to Sony so Xbox players can play a PlayStation game for free. It's beautiful in its absurdity. Sony is literally subsidizing their AAA single-player habits with Microsoft subscription money. And then, of course, we have the live service behemoth Helldivers 2. Remember a couple of years ago when this launched day and date on PC and PS5? That was kind of the test case, and it blew the doors off. That game did numbers on Steam that PlayStation executives dream about during their afternoon naps on piles of cash. It proved a vital point to the suits in Tokyo. PC players aren't second-class citizens, they are a massive untapped wallet, waiting to be opened. And this brings us to the current reality of 2026. According to their latest guidance, PS5 hardware sales are maturing, which is, again, corporate speak for everyone who wants one already has one, and we're selling fewer boxes year over year. When hardware sales slow down, you have to sell software to more people. You cannot spend $300 million making Spider-Man 3 and only sell it to the same 90 million people who bought a PS5 years ago. The math just doesn't math. You need the PC audience. You need the Xbox audience. Now we have to talk about the human cost of this $2 billion revenue stream. I'm talking about more so the emotional devastation currently happening on social media. I want you to picture a guy named XX Sony Pony for Life XX. He's spent the last 10 years in the trenches of the internet console wars. He has insulted the mothers of Xbox fans. He has written 15-page dissertations on why teraflops don't matter. It's about the SSD magic. He has based his entire personality around a plastic box made by a Japanese conglomerate. And today, that conglomerate looked at him and said, yeah, thanks for the loyalty, bro, but look at all this cash Steam just sent us. The betrayal is palpable. I'm seeing threads arguing that Sony has lost its way, that allowing The Last of Us Part 3 to eventually touch a Windows operating system somehow diminishes the artistic integrity of Ellie's trauma. It's hilarious, but it's also kind of sad, because it highlights something we talk about on this channel a lot from a marketing perspective. Brand loyalty is a one-way street. You love the brand loves your money. Sony didn't keep games exclusive for 20 years because they loved you and wanted you to feel special. They did it to force you to buy their hardware so they could lock you into their ecosystem and take a 30% cut of every V-Buck you bought. Now that the hardware market is saturated, the strategy changes. The ecosystem is no longer a physical box under your TV. The ecosystem is PlayStation Network account. As long as you are logging into a PSN account, whether it's on a PS5, a PC, or heck, a Samsung smart fridge in 3 years, they won. The console warriors were fighting a religious war while the generals were just back at headquarters counting gold bars with the enemy. So does $2 billion mean the floodgates are totally open? No, not yet. And this is where Sony is trying to have their cake and eat it too. And honestly, it's a smart, if annoying, business strategy. They have bifurcated their approach. On one side, you have live service games, Helldivers, Marathon, their upcoming sports titles. Sony has explicitly said these will be day and date on PC. Why? Because live service games need a massive population immediately to survive. You need whales on PC and whales on consoles swimming together in the same ocean of microtransactions from day one. But on the other side, the prestige single-player games, the Naughty Dog stuff, the Santa Monica stuff, they're still holding those back for a year, maybe 18 months. Why? FOMO, fear of missing out. They know that if Grand Theft Auto 6, which God willing we are finally playing late this year, was PS5 exclusive for 6 months, people would sell their kidneys to buy a PS5 just to be part of the cultural conversation. Sony still believes there's value in that initial window of only on PlayStation prestige. It keeps the brand feeling more premium than others. It keeps the diehards happy, and it forces the impatient PC players to double dip. So just think about it for a second. How many of you bought God of War Ragnarok on PS5, played it, loved it, and then bought it again on PC 2 years later just to see it run at 120 frames per second in ultra-wide? Yeah, I see you. I am you, and Sony thanks us for our lack of financial impulse control. However, there's one massive wrench in the gears of this PC master plan, and that wrench is named NVIDIA. If Sony wants to pivot to PC revenue, they need people to actually own PCs that can run these games. Have you looked at the PC hardware market lately? We just got reports that future cards are delayed again due to memory shortages. The price of a mid-range GPU in 2026 is basically the same as a mortgage payment in a mid-sized Midwestern city. This puts gamers in a weird spot. Consoles like the PS5 Pro are expensive, sure, but high-end PCs are becoming unobtainable for the average person. So Sony is walking a very thin line. They are milking the PC audience, but they can't abandon the console box yet because, quite frankly, the console is still the most affordable way for the masses to play GTA 6. This $2 billion figure is impressive, but don't let it fool you into thinking the PlayStation 6 is canceled. If anything, this money is what secures the funding for the future of PlayStation 6. They're using PC profits to subsidize the R&D for the next plastic box that they will sell to you in 2028 for probably, I don't know, $800. So what have we learned today? 1, the console war is a lie sold to you by marketing departments. Sorry for that one. 2, Sony loves Xbox money almost as much as they love raising the price of PlayStation Plus. 3, if you're a diehard fanboy angry about exclusives coming to PC, you need to go outside and maybe touch grass or just do something else for a little bit. Or snow. It's February. Touch slush. The industry is changing. The walls are coming down, not because of altruism, but because game budgets have ballooned so high that exclusivity is just a fancy word for leaving money on the table. But as always, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you happy that the walls are coming down, or do you miss the days when your console choice felt like a blood oath? And hey, if you enjoyed me ranting about corporate finance, do me a huge favor and slap that like button. It helps the algorithm more than you know. I've been Cyler Ray. Keep your wallet safe, keep your frame rates high, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.